So let's talk about some of the things that I liked about Mortal Kombat. In this video, we're going to start with the things that I liked and that I loved. We'll move into the things that I disliked, and then we'll end with my final conclusions about how I really felt about this Mortal Kombat 11 beta. So first and foremost, I'm going to say something that I swore I wouldn't say. As I've watched a lot of reviews about different fighting games, and especially Mortal Kombat 11 in particular, everyone says, well, the game is beautiful. Well, as a fighting fan, I really don't care how beautiful the game is. In 3-4 months, I'm not even looking at the graphics. All I care about is the gameplay. So when people tell me, well, Mortal Kombat 11 is beautiful, or this fighting game is beautiful, it looks so good, it's on a new engine. Well, that's good, but all I care about is the gameplay. And now I'm going to break that rule that I always say, because the first thing you're going to notice when you turn on Mortal Kombat 11 is, gosh dang, this game looks good. It really looks good. The game is stunning. From the cutscenes to the actual gameplay, the background, the blood animation, it is all really, really well done. Very big hats off to the NetherRealm team. The game is gorgeous. I just have to say it. I'm done. It's a beautiful game. It's gorgeous. Aside from that, I really enjoyed the different variations that every character had. We didn't have a huge roster to choose from, so you were going to fight a lot of Scorpions. You're going to fight a lot of Barakas and Cabals, but it was fun because people would go in and they would mess with their own variations, and I was seeing versions of characters and ideas and things like, oh, I would never even think about trying that. Wow, that's very unique. And so, I played 15 different Cabals, but every Cabal played me somewhat different, and now everything is, obviously some moves are going to be the same from character to character, but I really enjoyed feeling like there was uniqueness to every single character. Towards the end, I started to play Cabal a very certain way, maybe a little different than the way I saw a lot of people playing it with his low kind of mix-ups. And then I went online and I saw Super, who was playing Cabal using his air dash movement, and I never even tried that ability out. So it was just really fun to see all the different variations that the game gave you with all the different characters. So I'm very much looking forward to seeing how that plays out as we get to the actual game later this month. Another thing that I really liked kind of with the variations is as I enjoyed all of the different costumes. It was fun to go back. For me personally, again, I played with Cabal. I had to give Cabal his old classic mask. I saw a lot of people using the little skeleton mask. Same thing with Jade. I had to give her that white and green. I thought that was awesome, but I was the only person that I saw really using that specific colorway. Scorpion, you could have a white and red Scorpion, or you could have your classic OG Scorpion. I like seeing that you can kind of make your character look however you want. In my opinion, I'm going to make all of my characters look like classic characters. But a lot of people probably aren't going to do that. They're going to come up with some crazy way to innovate their own character to their own style, and that's awesome. I am so happy that Mortal Kombat has done it that way, so that it's different for everybody. I really enjoy that. The next thing that I didn't know if I was going to like it, but I actually found myself really enjoying it, was I actually really liked the meter system and almost the little mini game that happens with the meter system, trying to figure out when I'm going to drop out of this combo. It's going to cost me 2 defensive bars, but if you can miss out on a ton of damage potential that's coming your way, and you can actually use 2 bars and drop out, that's a fun mini game to play. Should I use my tech roll here? Should I roll forward or back? Should I use my invincibility frames for a wake-up attack that sends them into a launcher but could get stuffed, or should I use just a quick stuff to create some space? It makes using your meter more impactful. You have to make more impactful decisions. It's more things to pay attention to in the heart of the battle, in the middle of the game, and for me, that makes the game that much more exciting. I was skeptical at first on how I would enjoy the meter system, but I do enjoy it. Make sure you spend some time trying to figure out how the meter system works. There are a couple little nuances and timing things that you have to get used to, but once you figure it out, it is very rewarding, very fun to play around with. So I do enjoy that meter system a lot more than I probably thought that I would. I think one of my favorite things in the entire game was the addition of the crushing blow. Now the crushing blow, it adds a whole nother level of depth to all of the characters, because certain moves can trigger certain crushing blows, but you need certain instances to happen for that to happen. So, for instance, Cabal's 4-2-2-4 combo ends with an overhead and it smashes them to the ground, and in a normal string it's great for pressure to kind of keep a mix-up happening, but if it's a punish, it gives you a crushing blow and does like 15% more damage. Same thing with one of his launcher combos. It's only on an interrupt, meaning if you miss the first one and they go to swing, but you hit the second and third, it'll crushing blow, launch them into the air, and then it allows for combo potential that wouldn't be there regularly. Now you can tell the game when you want to activate crushing blows by holding down a button. So let's say you don't want to activate a crushing blow even though all the prerequisites are met, and if you just did it normally, a crushing blow would activate. In this case, you can hold off onto it for later in the game when you want to perform a more devastating combo if it would be more beneficial for you. I think that crushing blows are going to add a whole just completely other layer of depth to Mortal Kombat, and I am looking forward to it, especially because combo potential is very limited, at least so it seems right now, in Mortal Kombat 11, and I will talk about that in a little bit here in this video. But because that combo potential is limited, these crushing blows are huge to be able to make flashier, more lengthy combos, and I'm very much looking forward to exploring that. I just hope there's a training mode that tells us exactly how to perform these crushing blows, and that way we can actually go into the training and practice mode and practice the timing of these crushing blow launchers. Things launch people at different heights, so it'd be nice to be able to get some practice as far as comboing off of those launchers. So yeah, I really enjoyed the crushing blows. Another thing right with that I did not think that I was going to enjoy, but I actually ended up having a ton of fun with, was the fatal blows. I love the fatal blows. Aside from how beautiful and well done they are executed in the game, they don't seem like they slow. Obviously it's a cinematic, so there's a stop in gameplay, and it's always worrisome that it feels like the gameplay comes to a complete halt, but they do a great job of making it almost integrate perfectly with the gameplay. Everything happens, it feels like, seamlessly as you're throwing in combos, and then boom, hit him with a fatal blow in the middle of your string. It slows it down. In Mortal Kombat X, they spent all this time creating these awesome X-ray moves, but nobody ever used them because they would save their meter. Well, with the way they do it now, once you drop below 30% health, you automatically get a fatal blow activated. Now, if it lands, you can only use it once in a match, but it does a good at least 30% of their health. Now, at first I thought, I don't think that I'm going to like this very much, because it's just going to lead to people spamming their fatal blows all the time, and it's almost like a safeguard and an easy way out. And sure, there's going to be some people still to this day that as soon as it pops up, they get scared and they spam it, boom, but then it's done and it's gone. And if they're really not that good, well, then you should be able to beat that opponent the next 2 rounds, assuming they secured that first round with the fatal blow. But a lot of times in a good game, when it's coming down to the nitty-gritty and the rounds are tied 1-1 and you're in a final round, and both of you and your opponent have a fatal blow, and you know that it's coming, and so you're playing this very careful, this mind-like game, because if you throw a fatal blow and you miss, you're going to get punished, or they're going to throw their fatal blow right back and you're going to die. It adds this whole level of suspense and intensity to the game, and I really enjoy that. I did not think I was going to like the fatal blows as much as I did, but the mind games that you're able to play and have with your opponents is so good. It is so much fun, and plus they are so satisfying. Once you hit them, they look amazing. So I have a huge fan of the fatal blows. With that, you know, the connection was obviously great. I had a great time online. There was hardly ever a drop in connection, and I really enjoyed that. They just did a great job, I feel like, of making your decisions feel more meaningful in this game. It's a little bit of a slower paced game, but you have more things to look at, more decisions to make, and those decisions feel more impactful on the end result. So those are some of the things that I liked, that I really enjoyed about the game. And now, of course, we have to talk about some of the things that I disliked about the game. Now, nothing is perfect, and when I say some of these dislikes, I'm not trying to bash the game. I loved the game. I played it the entire time. It was out for the 3, 4, 5 days. It was out on beta. I enjoyed it. I had a great time. But of course, like anything, there's a couple things that I maybe just would like to see changed. I just didn't like too much. And I kind of hinted at the first one there, and the first big one is the pace. The game feels a little bit slow at times. They did up the dash speed, so a game feels a little bit faster, but with the removal of the run mechanic, the game does feel a little bit slower. there were certain times, because again we only had 5 characters, where you could really memorize a certain character's mix-ups and strings. There's some characters like Cabal or Scorpion, they have really good mix-ups, and it's pretty tough to memorize those. But a lot of characters, based on their character animation and playing them so many times, because of a slower paced game, characters only have, 7 to 10 individual move strings that are unique to them. If you memorize those 7 to 10 strings in a slower paced game like this, it almost just becomes a blocking match. It gets very stale, becomes a staring contest where both people are kind of just looking at each other and every single thing is being blocked, because you know what the other opponent is going to do. Now, they've added in things like the flawless block to kind of help with that. There are some more advanced mechanics, but that is such on a deeper level that the average player, the average fan, isn't going to look at how to interrupt a combo with the flawless block and then turn that against them and actually reverse being punished into a flawless block punish combo on somebody else. That's a very advanced level where a lot of people aren't going to get to that level. So the combos, because of the lack of them, it's very easy to memorize strings, and at times if you're playing against a good opponent, it could feel like you're just having a block off, if that makes sense. Kind of with that, like I mentioned, there was a lack of combos for character-specific people. Now, like I said, Cabal and Scorpion had some fun mix-ups. They had a lot of high-lows. But then there's characters like Jade or like Scarlet. I was really, really looking forward to playing Jade. Just in Mortal Kombat in general, I tend to play more female characters. Don't know why that is. Just, Katana and Melina have always been 2 characters that I absolutely love playing with. Jade was missing in MK10, was so excited for her to come back. So she was the first character that I picked up, and I realized quick, she has virtually no combos. It is all just 3 or 4 button presses and they're knockdowns, but she actually has no strings that pop up and lead to more combos. I still had a ton of fun with her, and some crushing blows could lead into smaller combos. She had some corner combos, but they're very, very specific. And then Scarlet had the same flippin' 2-1-2 that's going to hit you twice. The third hit's going to be a launcher, and she's going to repeat launch you, and then she's going to do one combo finisher, and it was the same moves over and over again, and that lack of combo potential did feel a little restrictive, especially coming from something as chaotic as Mortal Kombat X. I would have liked to have seen more combo routes opening up, just more special moves or enhanced special moves leading to launchers, leading to stun locks, something like that. Granted, this is a beta, and so I'm sure more things are going to change, but the lack of combos did scare me a little bit. And with that, I think once we get a practice mode, this next one will change. But combos, they felt a little off sometimes. They felt different. I don't know how to describe that, and I hope that somebody can relate to this. But things like when I was throwing projectiles, I'm a Mortal Kombat veteran, I know how to throw an enhanced projectile, but things like even Cabal's projectile, his back forward one where he throws, just his scythe forward, you can enhance that and it'll actually keep the opponent stunned for 0.2 seconds longer, allowing you to run across the screen, get that stun lock, and then start a combo. But there was just times where I would have the meter and I'd be pressing the button input with the enhanced RB press, and no enhancement would come out. The same thing with Jade. If I was hitting the teleport, which is her back forward A or back forward 3, or down back 3, I'm sorry. If you enhance it, she'll teleport behind the opponent. But there were times where it felt like the enhance button just wouldn't work. And so I don't know if that's a bug. Maybe that's just user error and I'm terrible and I can't press RB for some reason. Even though I just played Mortal Kombat X and I was doing it fine, they just felt a little bit off. Same thing with the crushing blows. Like I had mentioned, Cabal has a launcher, and after you launch them, instead of going straight into the stun lock combo, you can actually throw a back kick or a 2-hit combo into that actual stun lock combo. But for some reason, I felt like 50% of the time that kick after the crushing blow would miss, and sometimes it would hit. The timing always felt kind of off, but again, that's why I'm hoping that when we get a practice mode, we can practice these crushing blows so we can get that timing down. I'm sure that's me just not being good at the game, and needing to get some more practice with my timing down. But there were just certain times, especially with the projectiles and enhancing those projectiles, or certain moves enhancing certain moves, that just felt like it wasn't working at times. So that concerned me just a tiny bit. And kind of with that, really the last complaint or thing that I didn't like at times, again, was it can be projectile spammy, like Injustice. I was never a fan of Injustice, nor did I ever really watch Injustice games, because it was just people throwing things at each other. To me, that doesn't take any skill, when to duck, when to block, when to jump, and when to throw a projectile. I don't care about that. I want to see some skill. I want to see some flash. For me, I've always said I'd rather a flashier combo than a more damaging combo, which is so stupid in a fighting game. But one of the reasons why I love fighting games is I love that flash, that exotic feeling, that flair that you can give to it. That's what I like about it. And so I don't like the projectile spam that can happen at times, especially with characters like Scarlet, who can sit there and just spam projectiles in the corner. If you don't have a teleport, I recommend you finding a character that has a teleport, because if you don't, you are going to get your butt kicked by people just throwing things at you from the other side of the screen, and that will get annoying. Aside from that, I loved everything else about Mortal Kombat. Look, I couldn't stop playing the game afterwards. I just wanted to play it more. If I wasn't playing it when I got home, the only thing I wanted to do at night was get some dinner in my tummy and then go play some Mortal Kombat 11. I was hooked on the game. So even though I have a couple of dislikes, I am very much looking forward to the game. I think that it's going to be fantastic. I'm looking forward to the full roster. But I'm very curious to know, as always, guys, what do you think about this Mortal Kombat 11 beta? Did you get your hands on the beta? Did you enjoy it? Did you not like it? What are some of your concerns? What are some of the things you're hyped for? And more than anything, I want to know, which character are you most excited to get your hands on? Who's going to be your main? I've heard some rumors out there that Melina may be in the game. If she's in the game, of course, that's going to be my main character to play. If not, I'm sure I'll be just happy playing with good old Katana, good old Noob Saibot, and probably going to have to get nice with my man Aaron Black again. Hope you guys enjoyed this little review of Mortal Kombat 11. I am really looking forward to it. I have a couple of concerns, but I am more excited than I am anything. If anybody wants to get some games in when the game comes out, more than happy to game with all of you out there. Again, this is for the love of the game, and I love doing this. Hope you guys have a fantastic day. Peace, love, good vibes only. You know how it goes. Overly Committed is out.
Nah, picture me rolling, tip of my chauffeur. Niggas look jealous, you gotta control it. Reaching my quota, mixing my soda. Feeling connected to God, trying to get closer. Stepping on roaches, me and my loasters. Just trying to get over, try not to get swallowed by locusts. Trying to stay focused, kinda like Moses. Like somebody chose us, it's weight on my shoulder. I feel these emotions, but still I keep going. I've been to a poet, I've been through the motions. I'm feeling heroic, but life is a dice game, and they dare you to blow it. You might get a strike, man, but that ain't gonna pay for the strollers. It's never enough to console her. Tell her your daddy a soldier, she needs you right now in this moment. Now dead on your back pushing roses. So me, I'm just carving a sculpture and fine-tuning my approaches. Doubling back as an owner. The moment of truth is opponents, call them promoters.
Picture me rolling with my friends, not a worry. Then we get stopped by the police. Gotta make it home to my baby.